Yo. What's good? What's good? We are back for our second go round for the post-fight show. Welcome, everybody. This is Stormy B Man. This is the post-fight show for Diaz versus Zepeda, Loma versus Ortiz for this Saturday, October 29th, 2022. The main event has just wrapped up for Lomachenko versus Ortiz, and they're still talking and milling about the ring. It appears that Alexander Usyk has found his way to a boxing broadcast here on the U.S. soil. He said he was going to come to Deontay Wilder's fight, but didn't show up. So he decided to show up for his fellow countryman, Vasily Lomachenko, whose performance tonight was somewhat average by his own standards. And it is what it is. Welcome everybody out there. I hope that you all have had a fulfilling day of boxing as the cards have gone on since early this afternoon, culminating in this Vasily Lomachenko and Ortiz match, Jermaine Ortiz. And here we are. To me, it was kind of anticlimactic with the Lomachenko card because I don't know if it were ring rust, disinterest, taking an opponent lightly. I don't know. But Lomachenko didn't look himself. He didn't look like he normally looks. And Jermaine Ortiz did not perform like a person who had an opportunity in front of him and be ready to seize the moment. I talk about this all the time, about these fighters when they feast on low opposition and they make their way around through the sport, but they don't get matched up against various styles that would lead to them improving their boxing skills, ability, and ring IQ. Ring generalship is very important in championship caliber fights. And this fight was close enough that if Ortiz had been able to understand his position on this night, he may have been able to steal this fight away from Vasily Lomachenko. But that's a lot to ask of a person who was picked for this opportunity. But then again, I can remember an era not too long ago when someone had an opportunity like this, they would seize it by the jugular and end up being the new kid on the block, so to speak, even if it's just for that one night, to take the bull by the horns and be in a position to prevail. Thus was not the case this evening, and Vasily came out on top. But I will say this: as so often happens in some of these fights, it took a little bit of time for the scores to come in. See, I pay attention to all of these things. When Katie Taylor defeated Karen Carbajal earlier this afternoon, she pretty much won every round of that fight. And they called the scores within, it was less than 5 minutes. They called the scores after the final bell. Here, it took a little bit of time. That usually means something, people. It usually means something. But the man who they wanted to win won. Now, will what we want take place? And when you talk about what we want, it ain't necessarily what they want. Think about it. Think about it. Still listening to some of these guys talking at the desk. I'm not impressed with the announcers of Tim Bradley and Andre Ward. Even with their ring experience combined, they still leave a lot on the table when it comes to talking about boxing. They're so busy trying to appease, I guess, their employers that they're just not, they don't come across as sincere at all to me. And I find it very difficult to listen to them and what they have to say. We're going out to the chat. We got Anthony Bolton out there saying salute, God of Green. Gerard M. Flawless Mentality, Dr. Mark is in the building saying salute to the gods. Sensei Stormy B, my brother from another mother, fam. And the God and beautiful goddesses of the mighty LDBC family. What's good? So talking about this fight that just wrapped up, since we're, I'm going to talk about Diaz and Zepeda in a minute because they ended before this, but Vasily Lomachenko had been away from the ring for a while. Everyone knows the backstory of what's happening with his home country being involved in national, worldwide conflict and everything. And there was some sort of question whether or not both he and his fellow countryman Alexander Usyk would return to the sport as the high-profile fighters that they are. And of course they did. Both have now fought after a layoff of being out of the ring and everything, but you have to wonder what Bob Arum's objective may be when it comes to Lomachenko being at the lightweight division, because not only are there great fights that can be made at that division, but there are now a number of fighters who could really put Lomachenko back in his place, rightfully so. And his place is not in the top 5. It's not. There are other fighters in that division that will hand him his dinner handily, but because Top Rank doesn't play ball with a number of other promotional outfits, Bob likes to flex his muscle, and he likes to call in favors. We know that the informant, which is what I'll refer to him from now going forward, Bob, the informant, already has some sort of a list of fights that he will not have Lomo face. But somehow, some way, I do feel that one of those titles are going to end up in his hands very soon. Now, we do know that Shakur Stevenson is moved right up to the lightweight division. So that's one more body that's capable and ready to handle Loma. Is that a challenge that he may be up for? I doubt it. From my understanding, they've done some work in the gym in the past. And if that be true, that's where you'll find his real answer in not facing that type of opposition, because the freshness, the talent, the youth would be far more than what he's looking to face at this time. The politics of boxing really sucks, man. It really does. There was a time when these fighters, if you run them off from 1 through 10, they just fight each other. It's like, hey, if you drop one, yeah, you get a rematch down the line. Go back, win, get a couple of wins under your belt and try it again. These guys today, they allow the promotional outfits and the networks to dictate that they not face one another for trivial reasons. One of the things they like to tell the public or have the public voice are purses. It's a fallacy. How much did Lomachenko make fighting tonight, people? I'll wait. And you go back earlier in the evening. How much did Zepeda and JoJo Diaz make? How much did Katie Taylor make in her fight earlier this afternoon? Last week, how much did the fighters make? Clarissa Shields, when she fought, on the day Devin Haney fought, on the day Deontay Wilder fight, how much did those fighters make with their purses? Now we're getting somewhere. When you understand that, then you know that all this other stuff that you've been hearing is BS. Mangus Allen in the building. 704 Joe in the building. Thrill Hill is back. What's good with all of you? Man, Mangus thinks that Loma versus Devin will be a good fight. I hope. Listen. Did you see Devin standing next to that guy? Devin is too big for him. Too rangy. Too well tooled for Lomachenko to have any advantages whatsoever. Loma had trouble with that young man tonight, Jermaine. And he wasn't fighting Michael. He had trouble. Devin would seize the opportunity of the moment, knowing whom he has in the ring across from him, knowing what it would mean to beat this guy down. Devin would systematically take him apart. The angles wouldn't mean anything because the footwork would be offset by better footwork. Yeah. The hand speed wouldn't mean anything because he's fighting a younger guy that's much fresher and has better hand speed, better range. This doesn't mean I don't want to see it. Of course I do. Just like you all. I want to see it. But I'm speaking from a place of obvious. Just like they speak from a place of obvious when they're being dismissive of our champions. They speak of them as insignificant as a drop of rain on your jacket. They'll remove your champions from pound for pound lists. They'll tell you when they hold positions of being undisputed that they're not worthy to be included on a list, or will rank lower quality fighters above them if they do decide to include them on a list. We've seen this TV show. It's called Fuck Face. This is what they do. Robert Hill is out there. I see you. Eric R. in the building. Emmanuel Joseph Bain is out there. Shower's out there. Shower, why the sad face? Why the sad face, Shower? I put that poll up there for you guys because I wanted to know what you thought about today's events and which matches did you find to be most entertaining. Taylor Carbajal was a little more entertaining than you guys are giving it credit for being. And Zepeda Diaz was just all out assault where William Zepeda, if I didn't know any better, he fought like a man that was juiced to me. But hey, what can I say? He's younger than JoJo, but the boy didn't get tired. And JoJo did put in some body work. Not enough for my liking, but he did. And I think Ortiz surprised a lot of you guys. They're interviewing him right now in the dressing room. I want to hear what he has to say. One moment. I'll be right with you, fam. I had to rewind something so I could see what this guy had to say.
I thought I won the fight. The decision, it is what it is, but it's tough to say, you know. I thought this was gonna be my night. I thought I should have won, but it is what it is.
It was a moment to change your life. Your trainer, Isaac Gonzalez, told you in the 9th round, this is when you can change your life. And that's exactly when Lomachenko came on. To what do you attribute that?
What, to change my life?
Okay, that's what they did. As soon as I had clicked it on to try to hear what they were saying, they went to their other broadcast show or whatever. And I'm not going to go through all of that. But Jermaine says he feels that he won the fight. I will say this about Jermaine's performance. Like I said a moment ago, he should have turned it up in those last couple of rounds. Left everything in the ring. He didn't do that. You're fighting a fighter who has a name, who has quite a questionable reputation, and people don't know who the hell you are. Leave the impact of who you are self-inflicted. This is the thing about fighters like Jermaine. This was your opportunity. You're supposed to get in there and perform like you really want it. He performed like he was happy to be invited. Now, if we were in a place of fair play where there were lemon trees and sunshine and rainbows, more than likely he could have got the decision. But that ain't the case, is it? Kiko Martinez didn't have a problem showing the world. Oh, but he's a little more experienced and he's been around a while. Oh. But isn't that the example? Isn't that who you look toward as, oh, this is how it's done? How many times have you heard me say these things? A few more people have come into the building. Let me acknowledge. Let's see. Mentu Bahotep says, Stormy, I want Devin to go to 140 and let Lomachenko scramble for those belts. Ortiz won. It was a draw either. I'm so sick of you guys talking about draws, man. Don't speak that word in my chat. You come in here talking about draws, you better be talking about underwear on some women or something, okay? Don't refer to it in a boxing match. You have to be definitive. In a sport where the rounds, if it goes the distance, are even, numbered. You have to be decisive in who you are selecting. If you select Jermaine won, select it. I don't want to hear this shit about a draw. Because you say that to kind of ease into the fact that you feel that it should have gone the other way, but you're trying not to be controversial or combative. Be definitive. I said a couple of weeks ago that I felt Michaela Mayer won that fight against Alicia Baumgardner. And then I did a Tuesday tussle where I called the fight and scored it again live on air and still came out with the same score that I had from the original fight. Stand on it. A draw. Yeah, Shower, that's what happened. I was trying to play it back because when I looked over at the screen, they were interviewing him, and I put my mic on mute. As soon as I went to hit my volume, it switched over. So I ran it back because I thought I missed more of it. But I only got him saying that he felt he won the fight. He thought it was going to be his night. So, yeah, they cut it. But they gave you Vasily and let you see him taking pictures with all his friends and everything and countrymen in the ring and everything. They followed him back to the dressing room, huh? They even laid roses on the floor as he walked down the corridor. So what the hell? I keep telling you guys, when they do this and they cut someone else off, but they don't cut these guys off, and you think that there's fair play, stop being fair. Be just in what you do. Leave the fair in the air. Sheena is out there with those channel emojis. I appreciate you, Sheena. 817 in the building. Picasso's out there. Daryl Alexander says, smash the like button and subscribe. You damn right. Got 40-some people out here watching me. And all of y'all ain't subscribers either. So you might as well subscribe. You get some good stuff over here on this channel. Picasso makes a good point. He says he was jumping through a flower patch picking begonias and stuff. Some of these fighters just sparring and doing tune-ups. You either go hard or go home. Yeah. Andrew Gray is out there. I see you. Picasso says, I'm the greatest. 704 Joe says, you're right, Stormy. You can't win 7 or 8 rounds, then take the last 3 rounds off. Go all out, even if you're winning. Especially if you're going up against somebody like that, who's got the favor. Remember, he's got the first 4 or 5 rounds on the scorecards before the bell rings to start the fight. But Jermaine didn't get the memo. That's why Michael was the star and Jermaine was just in the background going do 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 do, huh? And Michael was out front moonwalking and moving and shaking and hitting all the notes, huh? Jermaine, yeah. Yeah. You know me, I'm going to say it like it is, man. Loma was so ready to be taken tonight as 817 says. He was, you know, like that woman that be laying there after you done talked all that stuff, and she say, okay, daddy, let's see what you got. Huh? And you know what happens after that? You turn into Jermaine. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Woo! Yeah, I laugh at my own jokes. I do. Salute to Watcher out there. I see you, Watcher. I see those rankings in the poll are changing up a little bit. And that wasn't even Devin Haney tonight. Y'all think that Loma got a chance against Devin? I don't want Devin to fight him either. I want Devin to throw those belts up in the air and go on up to 140 and do some damage up there. And maybe Canelo will drop some weight and come down there and pick those belts up, since he like picking stuff up off the ground a lot. Huh? Yeah. Brown on boxing. If anything, he got that little thumbs down by the guy sitting in the audience with the dark shades on and had a newspaper like he was reading something. And you know you watching the damn live fight. Why you got a newspaper in your hand? Anyway, cornermen looked over there and saw that, and they was like, did the throat slash. King Corleone, is that real? Is that real, King Corleone? Wow. Man, that's some straight bullshit right there, bro. They said that you were rude and harassing people and escorted you out. Wow, man. I don't know what to say. Outside of that's some bullshit. Man, I'm sorry that happened to you, King Corleone. Big time, bro. Wow. That just totally changed my focus and everything. You see what we have to deal with, man? No matter what, time, place, space. This is bullshit. Yeah, but 704 Joe, when De La Hoya did that, he thought he was out ahead and everything and could coast. And the way he elected to coast, the judges, they were begrudging against that. It was kind of a cowardice move. King Corleone, they may have come at you because you had a beautiful sister with you, man. You never know how these people act, man. It's just, you never know. Never know. They was mad because it wasn't them. You know what I'm saying? But let's get on this Diaz versus Zepeda fight, man. I did a video breaking down this fight. And one of the things I had not considered was Zepeda's output. He seemed to have trained to really be busy in this fight to keep Jojo Diaz on the defensive and overwhelm him with a whirlwind of activity. I scored 3 rounds for Diaz in the fight out of 12. Ironically, I scored the first round for him because even though Zepeda came out and was so much busier, a lot of what he was throwing was being blocked because both fighters were at their freshest in that first round. And Diaz threw some hard, meaningful counter shots and punches that scored very well in the first round. So I gave that round to him. But it could, if someone gave it to Zepeda, I have no qualms about it, but I know that after that first round blitz, Diaz's performance in the second round let me know that he wasn't up for that tonight. I don't know if he didn't train for that or whatever, but Zepeda's activity overwhelmed him. I mean, he really fought at a pace that I would have loved to see the final punch stats because the dude was busy as hell. And that was the difference in the fight. But Jojo Diaz is a tough hombre, man. That guy could take a good shot. He could also deliver a good shot. He just didn't have enough pop on his punches in the amount of how he was countering and throwing back to make a difference or a dent into what Zepeda was doing. But my hat is off to Jojo Diaz for his performance because he hung in there. He didn't quit. He didn't lay down. And he, you know, I think I gave him the last round too, the 12th. So I gave him the first, the 6th. Was it the 6th or the 6th? Yeah, the 1st, the 6th, and the 12th. But outside of that, Zepeda was running away with it. But he should have concentrated on Zepeda's body in those middle rounds. He should have really went with an all-out body attack. When someone wants to try to overwhelm you with that type of activity, you offset that by slowing them down with body work. And they could have gotten away with it because Zepeda is not good defensively. The few shots that JoJo did throw, they landed. They scored and scored well. So as soon as he gets in there with one of the top guys, it's over. He gets hit too clean. Too clean. Put him in there with Shakur Stevenson and watch what happens. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anthony Jones, welcome. Yes, Diaz dropped a decision. He was just outworked by Zepeda. I swear it looked like Zepeda was on something, though, because the guy didn't get tired at all. You have to have some fatigue. I mean, you're a human being. There are so many guys in this sport today that are using substances to help them get through. Because well-conditioned guys are well-conditioned guys. But you see these guys sometimes when they're not even fighting, how they're out of shape and everything. And then they go out there and put on a performance like Zepeda put on tonight. I'm sorry, I have to question things, man. I'm like, you know what? Whatever. A lot of these guys are using stuff. Rasheed Wark, what's good, man? Peace to you as well. Don't know what that's about, but that seems to happen twice today with no explanation. Just an interruption in the service. You know, that's not my fault. It's beyond my control. All my settings and everything are where they need to be. Let me pay a personal bill with my man Focus Ball.
Get ready to take your striking game to the next level with the Focus Ball. Dramatically improved footwork, timing, head movement, hand-eye coordination, reflex, and overall fight IQ. It's lightweight and extremely portable, so you can train every time, everywhere. When you don't have a coach to do mitt work, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a heavy bag to hit, get a Focus Ball. When you don't have a sparring partner, get yourself a Focus Ball. And when you just want to have fun punching and kicking, get a Focus Ball. When you train with the Focus Ball, you train your eyes and your brain to read punches so that you can hit and not get hit, making this very simple device a must-have for all combat sports athletes and enthusiasts alike. So if you want to take your striking game to the next level, don't wait. Get the focus ball now.
Salute and shout out to Healer the teacher. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, with the focus ball. Much respect. Yeah, so what's next for JoJo? Whomever is his promoter, they should give him an opponent that he can look very good against and keep him thriving. Because he put on an effort tonight. He just was outworked by this guy. But nothing to hang his head at because he's still a top-class fighter in the sport. Zepeda is going to be beat by one of the quality guys as soon as he gets in the ring with one. And JoJo just very well may be fighting a little higher weight than he needs to be. Maybe he needs to be back down at junior lightweight. I know it gets tougher as you get older, but you know, Nonino Donaire proved that you can go back and revitalize your career by being where you need to be. You know what I mean? As far as what's best for you physically. All it takes is discipline. And discipline is very important. You know what I mean? So that's the thing to be considered in an instance like this with JoJo, because JoJo is not a bum. He's not a guy like, oh, he's an easy touch or whatever. JoJo is a quality fighter, man. Big time. Salute to my brother out there, Drew Titan, LLC, with the super chat donation. He says, man, Cook Sensei, yes, sir. You know what I'm doing, man. Get you a plate. Huh? Get you a plate. But listen, I'm going to be sitting right there waiting for Zepeda to get his head taken off. He has absolutely no defense. And you're not going to be able to overwhelm all the good fighters out there. Men who are stronger, who are naturally of that weight class. You know, he will run into some trouble. Yeah. But I really feel like the fight that took place said more about the individual fighters than what it said about them against each other. Zepeda is really limited. But it didn't appear to be that way because he was younger, bigger, stronger than JoJo. And JoJo's experience came through because I was watching in certain instances of the fight. He was able to dictate some things, but it wasn't able to uphold it all because he was spending a great deal of time covering up and blocking punches. But he really needed to get close to the guy and just be banging him to the body, You know, keep your head on a swivel, banging to the body, be in his chest 24/7. Just like Martinez did against Jordan Gill, you know, earlier in the day. Man, was that a great performance by Kiko Martinez. He cut that ring off on that kid and just busted him up and banged him up out of there, bro. 4 rounds. And people were like, oh, Kid Galahad was a bum because Kiko came back and beat him. No. Kiko is a former world champion couple times over and experienced fighter who's been cut, knocked down, and all of that, lost fights. It don't matter. He just gets in there and fights. Keep telling you guys, when fighters are seasoned, when you've had all the doors opened, you can walk freely through the park. Ali once said something about that. He said he was in a fight one time and the guy had him knocked out, but hit him with another punch and woke him up. And he said he knows what it's like to go down that tunnel now, and he never is going to go down that tunnel again. You know, and that's the way he fought. And the fighter that did that to him was George Foreman. He said George hit him with a shot and he was out. And he hit him with a follow-up shot and woke him back up. That can happen. Big time. We got Rasheed Rourke out there. Thomas, a.k.a. Billy Ho, in the building. St. Louis Mix is in the building. He says, salute to the sensei and the family in the chat. Smash the like button, family. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, St. Louis. Hey, Drew Titan, if you're still out there, man, you should have heard me earlier comparing Jermaine Ortiz to Jermaine Jackson. And I was talking about how it was his night to shine, but just like Jermaine on the Jackson 5, couldn't step out front even though he wanted to because Michael took over. You have to roll it back to hear me talking about that. I thought it was kind of funny. On the mic with Terrence Bailey Sr.'s in the building. What's good with you? Ain't seen you in a while. Yeah, Drew, you know I be saying some funny stuff sometimes. It just come off the dome, man. My sense of humor ain't gonna leave me, man. It's just there. Yeah, but if I had JoJo's ear, I would have definitely tried to encourage him to be in the guy's chest, because at mid-range was all Zepeda needed against him, because he was taller and longer, and all he needed was mid-range to distance that he can throw those shots. But close in, it's not the same. And he just needed to be a workhorse for about 3 rounds, tearing that body up. And I guarantee you, Zepeda would have been different as a result, you know, in the later portion of the fight. So, yeah. Let me check in on this poll. See what you guys got. Hey man, I'm gonna need some of you guys to invest in some of that Stormy B-Man merchandise too, man. What's up with that? I haven't had any sales on my shirts or hats or anything in a minute. Yeah. And I don't even like hawk my stuff, but I was like, I was just thinking about that because I put the trailer on earlier for one of the shows. And I realized, I was like, wait a minute. Really? It's the little trailer for the merchandise. Picasso, my link for the merchandise store, it's on the screen right now, but it's also in the description box, bro. It's in the description box of all of my content. You know, but I don't hawk my stuff, you know, but it's like, I realized after a little while, I said, man, ain't nobody bought a shirt or a hat or anything in a while. And my stuff is quality. Those who have purchased have not said anything bad. I know that BFTB said I should make my logo across the t-shirts a little bit larger, but sometimes discretion is the better part of valor, huh? Yeah. But my windbreakers, the sweatshirts, the hats, the coffee mugs, all that stuff is quality, man. And the shirts come in several shirts and hoodies. They come in several different colors. You know what I mean? So you guys take a moment out and go visit the store. Also, if you have PayPal, it's easier to purchase through the PayPal than anything. I understand that some people had a problem at times when they tried to use a credit card, but I use a credit card on there just to make a purchase, and I didn't have any problem. But also understand if there are any problems that you have when you try to do things like that, you always have to let the merchant know. You know, otherwise we can't clean things up for you if we aren't aware of problems that you may have. But yeah, go and enjoy yourself, man. Get you some of that merch, man. It's quality stuff. Yeah, Picasso, the shirts are great, bro. They come in several different colors. I have the large sizes for the big bros. You know when Junior the Truth tell you that he can wear my sweatshirts, you know I'm doing the right thing because Junior's a big brother. You know what I'm saying? So if he's happy with it, you guys should be happy with it. Yeah, but that link is in the it's in the description box on all of my content, including this show. So but yeah, that's what you know. That's for you guys. You know what I mean? And if I can move a little more of that product, I can introduce some new things. But they kind of won't let me do other ideas that I have until I either move some of that product or I'm going to have to remove some of that product. But I would like some of that stuff to move first. Yeah, Picasso, it's all good, bro. It's all good, man. It's all good. But getting back to Vasily Lomachenko, I think that Lomachenko should be made to receive some of the punishment that he had put Dev through. Like Dev dropping belts, moving on up, moving away from him, leaving some of those other lions down there to scrape and scrap over it. Yeah. It's only fitting. Mr. Shelton in the building. What's good, Mr. Shelton? This was a long day of boxing, wasn't it? It was like, damn, from like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, my time, all the way till 11 p.m. It's a lot of boxing, man. Some of the guys on the undercards too, it's like those were a lot of those setup fights, you know, that I talk about. Better start putting those young men in against more stiff competition so they can learn how to fight. Because I saw more than a few mistakes tonight. Saw more than a few mistakes. Drew Titan, you still in the building? So anybody got any particular comments or questions that they want to present to me based on the two main events this evening, the Loma fight or the Zepeda and Diaz fight? Before we get out of here, I'll give you guys a chance to throw something at me and see if I can give you some responses on something that may have not set well with you or whatever. But I do know that Jermaine really blew his opportunity tonight. No one expected him to perform as well as he was performing against Vasily. And either the powers that be shut him down, or he just didn't know how to close the show. And it's as simple as that. It's one or the other. Yeah, Drew. I was gonna tell you when I got a chance to talk to you. I done learned how to edit some video again on my laptop using the video editor on my laptop, which is crazy, man. Because when we do Nerds on Culture on Monday, you'll be able to see this video I put together, some DC stuff. Not bad for an OG that, you know, trying to figure stuff out. So yeah, I'm kind of excited about that. I feel like a little kid. I'm like, oh, I did that. I did that. Yeah, Rashid, he ain't eager to fight Devin. He got to put up that face, you know. I have to honestly say, I didn't see the entire fight because the first couple of rounds with the Loma fight, I was already late in the fight with Zepeda and Diaz. So, but I was listening to KQKC's call of it. Again, shout out to KQ, who did a wonderful job calling the fights tonight and this afternoon. But I'd like to say that from what he was saying, the fight was very close. But I heard him also indicate that Ortiz was having some difficulty. And by the time I was able to switch over and catch what I was seeing, Ortiz won the round that I switched over to was the 9th. And then Loma won the next 3 rounds. But they were very close. But it was what Ortiz wasn't doing. It was more of what it was what he wasn't doing that was causing it to be favorable for Loma. My guess is at some point in that fight, he hit Loma with something and hurt him. That's what I think. I'm going to have to go back and watch the rounds that I missed. But that's what usually happens with him. Think back to the Teofimo fight. Didn't Teo hit him with something early on and it made him hesitant? And he just kind of like, you know, played it safe till he had to step on the gas and try to acquire rounds. But by that time, Teo had built up too much of a lead. Yeah. Yeah, that 117 to 111, man. That sounds straight out of the Canelo book, don't it? And where the hell was Pamper Bob tonight? Somewhere on life support. The informant. Somewhere snitching on somebody. Drew says it was a body shot in round 3. He took a lap around the ring. Or he did one of those Nonito Donaires when Inoue hit him with that shot. Nonito, he ran around the ring like a helicopter that was going down. And then he dropped to his knee like, ah. But I'm not making fun of Nonito because he's a cool guy. But boy, he made sure he got his break from that action for that. Rashid said he hit Loma a few times, had him reset a couple of times, in my opinion. Brown on Boxing says Ortiz turned it off after the 8th round. He had success switching southpaw, and after the 8th round, he never switched back. See, when you see stuff like that, and it's a guy being successful, you kind of wonder about those kind of things, man. It's like, remember that fight, the brother against Tim Tszyu? Dropped him in that first round and everything when they was exchanging blows. Then he never went for it after that. I was like, man, it's like he put his offense in his pocket. See, that's what make you think something shady about boxing. And Tim Tszyu went down from some straight up clean shots right on the mug. Boom, boom, and he was down. Now imagine Mel Charlo. Man, Mel gonna kill that dude. They thought Vince Phillips whooped his dad. Wait till you see Mel get a hold of that dude. What Mel say? I'm a knockout expert, baby. I'm gonna have to add that to my soundbite, man. It's like he said, I'm a knockout expert, baby. Yeah. Hey, when Mel get through with him, he ain't gonna be known as Tim Tszyu no more. Or as Mel like to call him, Tim Kazoo. He gonna be just known as Tim Z. Like as in go to sleep. Z. That's what he gonna be known as when he get his butt in there with Mel. Cause Mel gonna put that boy, oh man. Hopefully they have a pine box right next to the ring and they can just roll his ass over in there. They won't even have to carry him. They just roll him in there and then pick the box up and take it straight to the funeral home. Shit. That's right, Sheena. He gonna be called Tim Z's. Have you ever seen somebody ready to get their ass whooped so fast, right? That's what they want to do. Just whoop my ass, will you please? You know, that's him, huh? I've been waiting a long time. I've taken a step aside. I'm not going to step aside anymore. No, you're going to step in some shit. That's what you're going to do. Salute to Drew out there in that super chat. He says Mel gonna beat him so bad that Tim gonna swear he started the fight with his back turned. Y'all seen that face palm meme of Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. when he was watching Junior in that fight and he was so disgusted with him, he just put his face up like that and it became a meme. They're going to have one of those for Kostya after he watched his son get beat down by Mel. Mm-hmm. And see, he fighting the worst Charlo too, because that's the dude that I said he done won in every kind of way you could win and knocked everybody out with all the punches you could knock somebody out with. He ain't got a chance, man. He gonna get his butt in there and get KO'd. Or maybe KO'd. See, if he would have talked nice and, you know, said it's a pleasure to have a chance to fight a champion and this and that, he might have lasted a little longer. But all that stuff talking about it's my destiny and it's going to be on the anniversary of my dad and this and that, all that stuff, man. And then that poster that I showed y'all, that fight poster where, you know, he's headlining the poster and everything. Oh, man, it's over for him. It's over for him. Yeah. Tim Kazoo. He gonna get his ass whooped, Joe. He gonna get his ass whiz-zipped. That's what you get for going in there trying to talk mess. Yeah, let me see if I can pull this thing up before we get out of here. Yeah, I'm going to pull this thing up and let y'all see it one more time before I get up out of here. So now this is enough. And y'all know, y'all seen Mel on his show, right? He got his little podcast show, not podcast, but his show that he do. Now, this is the fight poster that they put up for the fight with these two guys. January 28th, 2023. Zoo versus Charlo. Really? So he's a headliner now and everything. This dude is gonna be killed. This is the kind of stuff, man. When they say don't let your mouth overload your ass, this is right here, right up that alley, bro. Right up that alley. And you know, just look. You see that look on Mel's face on this poster? And that's pretty much the look he have all the time. So, man, Tim Kazoo is going to lose it, man. Oh my goodness, man. Brown on boxing. Don't be surprised if it's sooner than that, because remember, in his last fight, what happened? Dude had him down early, right? But then stopped fighting. Mel ain't gonna do that. Mel gonna be on this guy like his car is double parked in the parking lot. Bulletin board material. That's all you can say this is. Nah, you don't want that, man. You don't want that, son. You don't want it. Todd Swindle, yeah. He gonna be like, I put some hot dogs on the stove. So I gotta get this over with so I can go home and eat my hot dogs. And you know it don't take no time to boil some hot dogs, right? So Kazoo gonna be up out of there. Yep. The Messenger 215 says, salute to the channel. Man, I just want to see how he gonna treat him for this poster right here. You know, that take a lot of guts, man. They put this thing together. The fight is still a couple of months away. And they acting like it's cool. It's all good. The undisputed junior middleweight champion of the world is second build on this poster, bro. Man, all I can say is this boy gonna get cooked. Remember, I first talked about it a little over a week ago on my Friday night chop session. And I was like, I hope somebody get this to him. Because it ain't like we needed to throw some logs on the fire, but burn, baby, burn. Disco Inferno. Burn that mother down. Hey, man. Whatever I can do to help Tim Kazoo. The only thing he could do better is to show up that night in the ring wearing a police officer uniform. Yeah. They'll give him just what he deserves. I'm a knockout expert, baby. Man, guys, it's getting late, man. I appreciate everybody came in because you guys been rolling with me for the whole show. But Man. Unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. And we got the call in the morning, so what we got, let me check in on that poll. How we doing on that poll? Okay. $75 votes, okay. Should have had more than that, but that's okay. Said we have over 300 people viewing the show tonight, so I don't know why the other folk didn't want to participate in the poll, but hey, man. It's amazing. Think about that. The post-fight show draws a lot of eyeballs, but the people don't want to participate. They don't want to be a part of the family. They just want to siphon and suck your blood from a distance, huh? Isn't that something weird? Isn't that something weird? So you mean 300 and something people was out there, but only got 78 thumbs up. But y'all tune in every time I go live for the post-fight show. Hey, man, but I don't give a damn. Because you know what? At the end of the day, they can come in like that all they want and be peeping through the blinds in the bushes.
I don't think you're good enough to avenge your master.
Yep. So, but when I do my thing, it's like,
heads up! Heads up! Here's another one, and another one. Why you all in my ear talking a whole bunch of shit that I ain't trying to hear? Get back, motherfucker!
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Stormy can clown too, huh? That's it right there. Huh? And just know, guys,
This is Sparta!
Yep. Make it worth your while. So I'm going to get on out of here. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a great Sunday. And we'll catch you on the call-in tomorrow, 10 a.m., 10:30 a.m. Central Time. And enjoy yourselves. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. And we gone.
Heads up! Heads up! Here's another one, and another one. Why you all in my ear talking a whole bunch of shit that I ain't trying to hear? Get